Over the past couple months, I've been traveling through New Zealand, and this experience has done a lot for me in terms of gaining maturity. And especially, I feel like I have just learned a lot about myself and also just grown up a lot in terms of this trip. Just being in a new place where I knew absolutely no one when I got here and having to make a whole bunch of new friends and always be constantly meeting people and just like having the responsibility of watching all my stuff and just like taking care of myself while I travel has just been an experience where I feel like I've gained a lot of maturity because I've learned how to handle myself and become comfortable with being uncomfortable in a new place. When you fly to a new country where you know absolutely nobody, it's pretty uncomfortable at first, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to be okay with getting in those uncomfortable situations. And I feel like I have matured a lot over these past couple months. But with that being said, I also feel I still have a lot to learn in terms of growing up, and I think it's the same for most people in our generation, because even though traveling has allowed me to become a lot more mature, I've also met a lot of people who don't fit the description and don't fit the kind of person that I want to be when I get to their age. Because being 18, I'm pretty much one of the only people I've met traveling who are right out of high school, and the majority of people I'm meeting are 24, 25, 26, even 30 or late 30s who are just traveling. And I see a lot of the behaviors in them that I don't even see in myself, in terms of just, I guess, immaturity, you could say, in a sense, like just going out to the club and getting drunk every single night, or spending all your money on booze and then having to go back sooner than you expected because you didn't have enough money, because you're spending a whole bunch of money drinking all the time. These are things that you'd expect from someone who's 18, which I haven't been doing, just to be clear, which I see in the majority of people that I met traveling. And if that's the life you want to live, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing that if that's going to make you happy. But the thing is, for a lot of people, I don't even think that makes them fulfilled. I don't even think living that kind of way is actually benefiting their life. They just don't know any different. That's the way that they've been either shown to live by other people, or just kind of the backpacker culture in general is just to go get fucked every night, right? It's just the way it is. And in meeting a lot of these people, naturally you get into conversations of what you want to do with your life, and a lot of the people I've met have no idea what they want to do with their life. And I've always known what I wanted to do. It's always been music since I was like 12. Music and just creating stuff has always been what I wanted to do, and I'm putting everything that I have into pursuing a path that's oriented in that kind of lifestyle. But I met a lot of people who still don't know what they want to do and still don't know how to figure that out. And there's been a couple times where I've literally been giving advice to people who are like almost double my age on how to find what they want to do with their life, and they're like, how are you so young and you've learned this? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people who don't know what they want to do with their life, but at some point you kind of need to actually take some time to figure that out. And it comes with growing up, and it comes with accepting responsibility for your situation and not running from the fact that you don't know what you want to do with your life. And I think the biggest thing in becoming more mature, and the biggest thing that a lot of people need to learn in terms of actually becoming more mature is just accepting responsibility for yourself and for your life and for the situation that you're in. Because when I was going through high school and something didn't go right for me, a lot of times I'd make excuses for it, like, oh, I didn't do well in that basketball game because I was tired or sore, or like, oh, I didn't do well on that test because I was too busy with other things. And I wasn't taking responsibility, deciding like, no, I actually decided to do this thing instead of this, and that's the consequences I have for that action. And I've gotten a lot better in just accepting responsibility for everything that's gone right or everything that's gone wrong in my life. I accept responsibility for my situation, because there are things that I can't control, but the only way to deal with that is control the way that I act and control my response to that, and not become a victim of the circumstances that are just going on around me. Whether it's something I want to have happen or something I don't, it doesn't matter. You have to be willing to accept responsibility for your life and for your situation, and be able to work towards something that you want. If you have things that you want to do in life, then you need to accept responsibility for yourself and actually understand that no one is going to come and just give that to you. You have to be willing to go get it. You have to be willing to take some time to reflect and figure it out. Is it worth your time pursuing? Are the people that you're spending time with are the people that you're spending time with actually having a benefit to your life? That's all your responsibility to figure that out. Not even these videos or anyone else who's telling you how to improve your life online can figure that out for you. You need to accept responsibility for everything that you want in your life and understand that no one is going to give it to you. Yes, there's going to be people who are extremely kind and people who will help you on your journey, but that doesn't mean that you can't just slack off and stop taking responsibility and putting the effort in that's necessary to get to where you want to go. And if you're young like I am, one thing that I really used to kind of, I guess, let bug me was that like people didn't treat me like an adult, even though like, because especially when I was playing music a lot at a young age, like 16 and 17, in environments where I was around older people all the time, I'm like, why don't they like treat me like an adult? I know I look young. And the thing that really switched for me was when I got here and people actually started to actually treat me like an adult. And I started to wonder why. I'm like, what am I doing different? And it's because over the past couple months, and especially the last year, I've started to accept responsibility for everything. And it's not even just like doing things, but it's also the way you think. And you just act a lot older because people will start to take notice that if you have a mindset of accepting responsibility for things that go on in your life. And even though I look pretty much like I'm 16, when I met a lot of people here in New Zealand traveling, they always ask how old I am. And when I tell them I'm 18, they always say they thought I was like 22 or 23 from either the way that I speak or just the way that I present myself. And I'm like, no, I know I look young, but and I'm like, I know I look young, and that's because I am. I'm not like, obviously not 16, but I still am just fresh out of high school. Because when I meet people, they're used to 18-year-olds still having that mindset of not being responsible for themselves, because most 18-year-olds go away to university and things still haven't really changed in terms of life, right? You can still go party every night. It doesn't really matter if you fail your classes because you're still in university and you can just retake them. Or at least that's the mindset that a lot of people have. But if you want to be willing to do something that you actually want with your life, and you have things that are, let's say you have dreams that are bigger than most, whether that be getting into a specific career field or just whatever it is, you have to be willing to accept responsibility and understand that there are consequences to everything you do. There are going to be things that you have to give up and sacrifices you have to make, but you have to be willing to accept that with responsibility. Like for me, I really want to spend time working on this channel and working on my music, and since I'm traveling, there's always this big pressure to go out and drink. And that's the reason why I stopped drinking, because there's other things that I want to do and I can't be putting my time towards that yes, it's enjoyable sometimes, but it's a detriment that's taking away from what I actually want to do. So I have to be responsible enough to give that up, because there will always be something that you have to give up in life. Whether it's this path or this path, there's always going to be something you're missing out on, because you can't have everything. That's just the way that life works. But you have to be willing to accept responsibility for yourself and know that no one else is going to live your life except for you. With that being said, if you don't know already, my name is Colby Wallace. I am an 18-year-old artist from Canada. If you like this video, might as well subscribe. If you want more videos on how to improve yourself, want to hear my original music that is coming very, very soon, might as well subscribe. Not sure what you're waiting for. It's a win for you because you get to see more content. It's a win for me, helps me out. I love to see the support. If you want to join our free community on how to beat your social media and phone addiction, there's a link for that in the description. Completely free community that you can join right now. If you want to hear my original music, also a link for that in the description. And with that being said, never stop creating, my friend, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.